You know exactly what you need to do. You thought about it, you planned it, you've probably even started a few times, but you're still not doing it. And here's the thing, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. It's because you're overthinking it. And overthinking isn't just slowing you down, it's actively stopping you. Let's talk about why this happens and what you can actually do about it. I see this pattern all the time. Smart people, self aware people, people who have it figured out on paper but can't seem to execute in real life. And the pattern is always the same. They want to start a business, build a personal brand, make a career change, whatever. They've done the research, they know the steps, but they're stuck. Not because they don't know what to do, but because they're thinking too much about doing it. And here's what most people don't understand about overthinking. It's not just analysis paralysis. It's not just indecision. Overthinking is a form of avoidance. It's how your brain protects you from risk, from failure, from discomfort. And the more you think, the more reasons your brain finds to not act. So you end up in this loop: think, plan, research, think some more. And nothing happens because thinking feels productive. It feels like you're doing something, but you're not. You're just spinning. And the worst part, the longer you stay in that loop, the harder it gets to break out of it. Because now you're not just overthinking the original thing, you're overthinking why you're overthinking. You're judging yourself for not taking action. You're creating more mental blocks on top of the ones you already have. So let's actually break this down of what's happening here and how do we actually get out of it. So there are three big reasons overthinkers struggle to take action, and they all feed into each other. First is you're trying to eliminate all uncertainty before you even start. This is the big one. You want to know it's going to work before you even do it. You want guarantees, you want proof. You want to have it all figured out so there's no risk of failing or looking stupid. But here's the problem. You can't eliminate uncertainty. You can't know for sure if something's going to work out until you actually do it. No amount of overthinking is going to give you that certainty. So you keep thinking, waiting for the moment when you feel ready. And that moment never comes because readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. The more you think, the more variables that you start to see. And the more variables you start to see, the more uncertain you feel. And the more uncertain you feel, the less likely you are to act. It's a trap. Number two, you're attaching too much meaning to the actual action. For you, starting isn't just starting, it's a statement about who you are. If you start and fail, what does that mean about you? If you put yourself out there and people don't care, what does that say? So every action within that framework feels really heavy. Every decision feels permanent. Every step feels like it has to be perfect because you're not just doing the thing, you're proving something to the world, to yourself, to some imaginary standard that you've created. And when the stakes feel that high, of course you're going to overthink it because your brain is trying to protect your identity. It's trying to keep you safe from the risk of being exposed as not being good enough, not being smart enough, not being ready. But here's the truth: the action doesn't mean anything until you decide what it means. Starting doesn't prove you're capable or incapable, it just means that you started. And the story you're telling yourself about what it means, that's what's keeping you stuck. And number three, you're using thinking as a substitute for action. And this is the sneaky one, right? Overthinking feels productive. It feels like you're working on the problem. You're researching, you're planning, you're strategizing, refining. You're doing something, right? No, you're avoiding because thinking is safe. Thinking doesn't expose you to failure. Thinking doesn't put you in a position where you might be wrong or criticized or even uncomfortable. Thinking keeps you in control, but action is risky. Action is messy. Action puts you out there, and your brain knows that. So it keeps you thinking because thinking feels like progress without any of the risk. And the problem is thinking doesn't build anything. Action does. And the longer you stay in your head, the more disconnected you get from reality because you're not testing your ideas. You're just refining them in a vacuum. And that's not the same thing. So, how do you actually get out of this? Well, one, you shrink the decision. If the action feels too big, you're going to overthink it. So, make it smaller. Instead of start a business, it's write down 3 business ideas. Instead of launch a YouTube channel, it's record one video on your phone. So, the goal isn't to do the whole thing. The goal is to take one step that moves you forward. Because once you take that step, the next one gets easier. Momentum builds momentum. But you can't build momentum by thinking. You build it by doing. Number 2, separate your identity from the actions you take. That thing you're about to do, it doesn't define you. It's just an experiment. It's just data. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you learn something and adjust. You're not proving anything by starting. You're not risking your worth. You're just trying something. That's it. And when you can separate your identity from the action, the stakes begin to lower. And when the stakes drop, overthinking loses its power over you. And number 3, set a decision deadline. Give yourself a time limit, not to do the thing, to decide, I'm going to decide by Friday whether I'm going to do this or not. And once I decide, I'm going to do it. Because here's the thing, most of the time, you already know what you want to do. You're just avoiding committing to it because commitment feels risky. But the longer you avoid committing, the more mental energy that you waste. So set the deadline and then act on it. And number 4, accept that you're going to feel uncertain and do it anyway. This is the big shift. You're waiting to feel ready. You're waiting to feel confident. You're waiting for the uncertainty to go away. Well, guess what? It's not going to go away ever. Even people who have done the thing 100 times still feel uncertain at times. That's just part of the game. So the question isn't, how do I get rid of the uncertainty? The question is, can I move forward even though I feel uncertain? And the answer is yes, you can. You just have to stop treating uncertainty like a stop sign and start treating it like background noise. Here's what I want you to do after you watch this. Pick one thing you've been overthinking about, just one, and ask yourself, what's the smallest version of this? Not the perfect version, just the smallest possible step that moves you forward. And then do it. Don't think about it. Just don't plan it out anymore. Just do it. Because action is the only thing that breaks the overthinking cycle. It's not better thinking, it's not more clarity. Action. You already know what to do. You're just waiting for permission. So here it is. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. If this resonates with you, head over to natehooks.com. There, you'll find links to a free community I've created called Beyond Overthinking. And if you want to work with me personally one-on-one, I've got a few options there as well. Either way, thanks for watching. And remember, thinking about it isn't the same thing as doing it. So go do the thing.